had killed the market for, of course. Now this had killed the market for, of course.
Already. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is INNOSSETU, and of course, I'm broadcasting live from Kampala, Uganda, together with my colleague Africa Maria. We are going to take you through these 3 hours here, and of course, today we are a bit late. We apologize. We had no electricity, and as soon as electricity came back, we had to come in, and of course, make this show possible today. Yeah, today is of course 5th of September 2024, and it is a Thursday. Yeah, weekend normally begins on Thursday evening. Yeah, on Friday we are already in weekend. Yeah, yeah. If you're watching me from YouTube, and of course, thank you for watching. And if you're watching me for the first time in need part 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Black Fire Network 2. And if you're watching me from Twitter family, of course, you're watching me for the first time, please keep liking this page so that we can grow with the Black Fire Network page. We have also other Black Fire Network, of course, platforms like Facebook, like other platforms on YouTube. You can check out them, and of course, subscribe to these channels, because we normally have the same shows there. Yeah, well, yeah, today being of course being a Thursday, yeah, it is a cool day, and let me hope everything is moving on well for those that are watching me here. Yeah, our topic today, we are going to talk about the money that terrified the FBI. That is none other than Fred Hampton. Friend Hampton, for those people that don't know Friend Hampton, you have not heard about Friend Hampton. His real names were, of course, Frederick Allen Hampton, sir. Of course, who was born in 1948, of course, and died in 1969. Was an American activist. He came to prominence in his late teens and early 20s in Chicago as a deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party and the chairman of the Illinois Charter. As a progressive African American, he founded the anti-racist and anti-classist Rainbow Coalition, a prominent multicultural political organization that initially included the Black Panthers, Younger patriots who organize poor whites. So, and of course, the Young Lords, which organized the Hispanics, and an alliance among major Chicago street gangs to help them end the infighting and work for social change. As a Marxist-Leninist, of course, Hampton considered fascism to the greatest threat, saying nothing is more important than, of course, stopping fascism, because fascism will not stop us all. By 1967, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that is FBI, identified Hampton as a radical threat. It tried to subvert his activities in Chicago, of course, sowing disinformation among Black progressive groups and placing a counterintelligence, of course, operative in the local Panthers organization in December 1969. So Hampton was dragged, then shot and killed in his bed during a pre-dawn raid at his Chicago apartment by the tactical unit of the Cook County State Attorney's Office, who received aid from the Chicago Police Department and the FBI leading up the attack. So law enforcement played more than 100 gunshots throughout the apartment. So the occupants fired once. So during the raid, Panther McClurk was also killed and several others were severely wounded. In, of course, January 1970, the Cook County coroner, of course, held an inquest of the coroner's jury that concluded that Hampton and Clark's death were justifiable homicides. That's what they said. So a lawsuit was later filed on behalf of the survivors and the relatives of Hampton and Clark. It was resolved by 1982, of course, by a settlement of 1.85 million, equivalent to 5.85 million in, of course, in 2023. So the US federal government, Cook County, and the city of Chicago each paid one third to the group of the 9 plaintiffs, and given revelations about an illegal COINTEPRO program and the documents associated with the killing. So many scholars now consider Hampton's death at the age of 21 a deliberate murder or assassination at the FBI initiative. So when we look at, of course, Hampton, who was born in 1948 in the present-day Summit, Agro, Illinois, of course, generally shortened to Summit, and of course moved his parents to another Chicago suburb, that is Maywood, at the age of 10. His parents had come from Louisiana as part of the Great Migration of the African American in the 20th century out of the South. So they both worked at the Agro Starch Company, a corn starch processor. So as a youth, Hampton was gifted with both in the classroom and, of course, athletically. And of course, hoped to play center field for the New York Yankees at the 10 years. At 10 years old, we see that he started hosting weekend breakfast for other children from the neighborhood, cooking the meals himself in what he could be described as the precursor to the Panther Free Breakfast program. In high school, he led walkouts protests, protesting Black students' exclusion from the competition of the homecoming queen and calling on officials to hire more Black teachers and administrators. So Hampton, we see that he graduated from the Proviso East High School with honors and varsity letters, and of course a Junior Achievement Award in 1966. So from 1996, we see that Fred Hampton turned 18. At that time, he started identifying the Third World socialist struggles as well as leading communist revolutionaries, the Che Guevara, and of course Ho Chi Minh and Mao Zedong. Shortly after, Hampton argued not only peace in the Vietnam War, but also North Vietnam's victory. Hampton became active in the National Association of the Advancement of the Colored People, and of course assumed the leadership of its West Suburban Branch's Youth Council. In his capacity as the NAP youth organizer, he demonstrated natural leadership abilities, and of course from community of the 27,000 people. he was able to master a youth group of 500 members strong. So he worked to get more and better recreational facilities established in the neighborhoods and to improve educational resources from the Maywood's impoverished black community. So, uh, Hampton in 1968, we see that he was accused of assaulting an ice cream, of course, truck driver, stealing, of course, ice estimated to 71, of course, dollars of ice cream bars and giving them to kids in the street. He was convicted in May 1969 and several, and of course, served time in prison. In the memoir, Frank B. Wilson III places this incident in the context of the contemporary of course, efforts to disrupt the Black Panthers of the Chicago by revealing, of course, the trumped up charges. We see that Hampton, in 1969, now deputy chairman of the BPP Illinois chapter, conducted a meeting condemning sexism. After 1969, the party considered sexism counter-revolutionary, and by 1970, about 40 to 70% of the party members were women. Over the next year, Hampton and his friends and associates achieved many successes in Chicago. Perhaps the most important was the non-aggression pact among Chicago's most powerful street gangs, emphasizing that racial and ethnic conflict among gangs would only keep its members entrenched in poverty. So Hampton strove to forge an anti-racist class conscious multiracial alliance among the BPP and the Young Patriots Organization and the Young Lords under the leadership of Jose Chacha, leading the Rainbow Coalition. We see that Hampton met the Young Lords in Chicago, like Lincoln Park neighborhood, the day after they were, of course, in the news for occupying the police community workshop at the Chicago 18th District Police Station. He was arrested twice with the Gemini's at the Wicker Park Welfare Office, and of course, both were charged with the mob action at the peaceful picket, of course, of the office. Later, the Rainbow Coalition was joined nationwide by Students for the Democratic Society, the Browns Berets, AIM, of course, at the Red Guard Party. In May 1969, Hampton, we see that he called a press conference to announce that the coalition had formed what the coalition groups would do that was based on common action. So some of their joint issues were poverty and racism, corruption, police brutality, and of course, substandard housing of the blacks. If there was protest or demonstration, the groups we see that would attend the event and of course support each other. We see that Jeffrey Hars, who was of course Hampton's lawyer, has praised some of the Hampton's politics and his success in unifying movements, but has criticizes the way Hampton and BPP organized in a pyramidal or stroke vertical structure, contrasting this with the horizontal structure of Black Lives Matter. They may also have picked up the vulnerability of the hierarchy movements, where you have only a leader, which makes a movement very vulnerable. If that leader is imprisoned, killed, or otherwise compromised, I think the fact the Black Lives Matter says we are leaderful, not leaderless, perhaps makes them less vulnerable to this kind of government assault. So Hampton rose quickly in the Black Panthers based on organizing skills, oratorical gifts, charisma, and of course, once he became a leader of the Chicago chapter, he organized weekly rallies, participated in strikes, worked closely with the BPP's local people's clinic, taught political education classes every morning at 6 a.m. and launched a project for community supervision of the police. So Hampton was also instrumental in the BPP's free breakfast program when Bob Brown left the party with the, of course, Kwame Tua in the FBI fomented SNCC Panther split. Hampton assumed chairmanship of the Illinois State BPP. This automatically made him a national BPP deputy chairperson. As the FBI, of course, Ken Tropero began to disseminate the nationwide Panther leadership, Hampton's prominence in the national hierarchy increased rapidly and dramatically. Eventually, he was in line to be appointed to the party's central committee chief as staff when he achieved this position. We see that Hampton, Fred Hampton, we see that investigations with the FBI, of course, FBI, this is the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI, of course, believed that Hampton's leadership and talent for communication made him a major threat among Black Panther leaders. It began keeping close tabs on his activities. Investigations have also shown that FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was determined to prevent the formation of the cohesive Black movement in the United States. Hoover believed the Panthers, Young Patriots, Young Lords, and similar radical coalitions that Hampton forged in Chicago were stepping stone to raise the revolution that could cause radical change in the US government. So FBI opened a file on Hampton in 1967. It tapped Hampton's mother's phone in February 1968, and by May placed Hampton on the Bureau's agitator index as a key militant leader. In the late 1968, the Radical Matters Squad on the FBI Chicago, of course, field office recruited William O'Neill to work with it. He had recently been arrested twice for interstate car theft and, of course, impersonating a federal officer. In exchange for having his foreign charges dropped and, of course, are receiving a monthly stipend, O'Neill agreed to infiltrate the BPP as a counterintelligence operative. We see that O'Neill joined the party and quickly rose in the organization, becoming a director of the chapter security and Hampton's bodyguard. In 1969, the FBI special agent in charge in the, of course, the San Francisco wrote over that agent's investigation with of course, investigation had found that in his city, at least the Panthers were primarily feeding breakfast to children. Hoover responded with a memo implying that the agent's career prospects depend on his supplying evidence to support Hoover's view that the BPP was a violence-prone organization seeking to overthrow the government by revolutionary means in the US. So using anonymous letters, the FBI sowed distrust and, of course, eventually instigated and split between the Panthers and the Blackstone Rangers. Onrys instigated an armed clash between them on, of course, in April 1969. The Panthers became effectively isolated from the power base in the Chicago ghetto. So the FBI worked to undermine its ties with other radical organizations. We see that O'Neill was instructed to create a rift between the party and, of course, Students for Democratic Society, whose Chicago headquarters, of course, was near the Panthers. The FBI released a batch of racist cartoons in the Panthers' name aimed at alienating white activists. It also launched a disinformation program to forestall the formation of the Rainbow Coalition, but the BPP did not make any, of course, alliance with the Young Patriots and Young Lords. In repeated, of course, directives, Hoover demanded the COINTEPRO personally investigate the Rainbow Coalition, destroy what the BPP stands for, and eradicate itself, of course, serve the people's program. Sorry. So documents secured by the Senate investigators in the early 1970s revealed that the FBI actively encouraged violence between the Panthers and other radical groups. This provoked multiple murders in cities throughout the country. And of course, on July 16, 1969, an armed confrontation between party members and the Chicago Police Department resulted in the BPP member being mortally wounded and 6 others arrested on serious charges. In the early October, we see that Hampton and his girlfriend, Deborah Johnson, known as Aku Njeri, who was, of course, pregnant with their child, Friend Hampton Jr., rented a 4.5 room apartment at the 2337 Western Monroe Street to be closer to the BPP headquarters. Unreal reported to his superior that much of the Panthers' provocative stockpile was, of course, stored there. He drew them a map of the apartment. In the early November, Hampton traveled to California on the speaking, of course, engagement with the UCLA Law Students Association. He met with the remaining BPP National Alliance, who appointed him to party's central committee. He was soon to take the position of the chief of staff and major spokesperson. So the assassination of course, of Fred Hampton, we see that on the night of November 13th, 1969, uh, while Hampton was in California, Chicago, police officers John J. and of course Frank G. Uh, Rapport were killed in a gun battle with the Panthers. One died in the next day. A total 9 police officers were shot. So, Super John Winter Jr., a 19-year-old Panther, was killed by the police. Another Panther, Lawrence S. Bell, was charged with murder in an assigned editorial headline "No Quarter for Wild Beasts." So the Chicago Tribune argued the Chicago police officers approaching suspected Panthers should be ordered to be ready to shoot. As part of the large COINTELPRO operation, the FBI was determined to prevent any improvement in the effectiveness of the BPP leadership. The FBI, of course, orchestrated an armed raid with the Chicago police and Cook County State Attorney on the Hampton's Chicago apartment by, of course, and they had, of course, obtained detailed information about the apartment, including the layout of furniture, the ordeal and argument of a 14-man team in the South. The state special, of course, prosecution unit was organized for a pen down raid. They were armed with a search warrant for illegal weapons. So on the evening of December 3rd, Hampton taught a political education course at the Lock Church, which was, of course, attended by most Panther members. Afterward, as was typical, he was accompanied to his Monroe Street apartment by Johnson and several Panthers. We see that Blair Anderson, James Grady, Ronald Dog, Stachel, Holdybell, and others. Um, we see that O'Neill was already there having prepared a late dinner, which the group at around midnight. We see that O'Neill had slipped the segobito into the drink that Hampton consumed during the dinner to sedate, of course, Hampton so he would not awaken during the subsequent raid. O'Neill left after the dinner at about 1 of course, half past, of course, 1 a.m. in the night. Like you guys, Bazungus call it a morning. So December 4th, we see that Hampton fell asleep mid-sentence while taking his mother on the, while of course talking to his mother on the telephone. Although Hampton was not known to take drugs, so Cook County a chemist later reported that she had run 2 tests, each showing evidence of barbiturates in Hampton's blood. An FBI chemist failed to find similar traces, but Berman stood by her findings. So, uh, Hampton, this young, of course, this young guy actually tried to preach against. He was, of course, so charismatic. This was a guy that was ready to stand with the blacks for the rights of the blacks. However, he was killed when he was very young. We have seen very many charismatic leaders being killed in the same way. If you try to come out, if you try to raise your head, you're killed. So this is some of the videos that, of course, of of course, of Freddie Hampton. For those, if it is your first time to hear about Freddie Hampton and what he did, those he knew what he was, stuff.
I found this man laying with his head roughly the center of the bed, his body coming back like this. His two hands were laying over the bed like this, and just off or right below his right hand was a 45 automatic. Just a short way away from his left hand was a shotgun. I didn't know if he was how bad he was injured, so I grabbed him by the left wrist, and I pulled him out onto the door, which had been used as a barricade. I then backed off again.
That's where the change was done.
I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. I have the pleasure now to introduce who I believe is one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world. A man that did something that a lot of us ought to be very glad that he did. He was a part of making the only party which exists in the United States today that represents the people. As a matter of fact, he was one half. Him and Huey P. Newton started out in 1966. Sometimes I think where some of us were in 1966. I think what we would have said if we'd heard about some niggas going out in the street talking about carrying some guns, fighting all them policemen because we didn't know they were pigs out there in the streets. And I think I'm speaking for the whole party of the state of Illinois. I know I am. When I say that we love Huey P. Newton, we love Elridge Cleaver, we love Bobby Hutton, we love the Black Panther Party, and we love Chairman Bobby Seale. We love them because they were the first ones that took a stand against capitalism and racism and said that we'll fight it till the end. We said we join the line somewhere, motherfucker. If you try to pass us, we'll blow your brains out. They were the first ones that came through with the program that was initiated for the benefit of the people. All those things I named, the reasons why we love them are reasons that make it beneficial to us. But let me simply say, when I'm introducing Brother Bobby, that we love him because it's lovely to love. Chairman Bobby Seale.
All right, we here for some jive conspiracy. You know what we gonna do? We are going to defend ourselves, because Huey P. Newton said that power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. What kind of phenomena? Social phenomena. What is the social phenomena? Black people, Mexican American, any kind of people begins to learn that the social phenomena is that in fact U.S. racist, decadent, capitalist, imperialistic America is a police state. That a police state exists here, that these pigs are doing nothing but protecting the average businessman and the demagogic politician, protecting the exploitative system that they got going. That in fact we are tired of it, we are sick of it. You've been brutalizing black people, you've been murdering and lynching them. Black people are tired of it. Black people are the vanguard of this revolution all of a sudden, and it's phenomenally correct also. But we are concerned with that social phenomena. We are concerned with that exploitation. We are concerned with the oppression that black people and all other peoples in the world who are suffering the same common oppression that we are suffering today. The thing is that we have the ability to define it. So, if we have the ability to define it, the only next thing to do is get organized. Get organized. So when a pig walks up to you, or a pig gets to jive with the people, You'll be so organized, you'll be learning some tactics, you'll be learning some revolutionary principles, you'll be having some guns hid out somewhere, you have some proper tactics. That when the pig gets to jiving with you, the pig gets wrong, you whoop your guns out on him, blow him away, and then you have the ability, in fact, you have made that pig act in a desired manner. But for what? But for what? For a new system, brothers. We need a new system. The people need a new system.
I sat yesterday afternoon next to Bobby Seale while he said that a federal marshal tried to ram a 4-inch piece of cloth gauze into his mouth. 3 marshals held his head. 1 marshal held his nose so that he couldn't breathe. And the 5th marshal attempted to press against his mouth with all his weight this gauze that ultimately resulted in Bobby bleeding profusely around the mouth and the lips as they tried to jam this piece of object into his mouth to silence him.
I'm so thirsty for revolution. I'm so crazy about the people. We're going to stand together. We're going to have a black army, a Mexican-American army, an alliance and solidarity. We're going to have some progressive whites, all of us. And we're going to march on this pig power structure. And we're going to say, stick 'em up, motherfucker. We come for what's ours. Up against the wall. Power to the people. Thanks, brother.
Together says, hey Maria, hey Sophie, hey Black, it's me, what family. Hey, together, how are you doing? How are you doing today? Let me hope you're doing fine. Let me hope everything is moving on well together.
Yes, they got together with us,
today
and
our
there's nothing
discussion is
wrong
going
with
to
that.
be related
Because we
around
need some
from
guns.
Hampton,
Black
the man
people
that
need some
verified
peace. White people need some peace. If we are
FDR.
going to have to fight, we're going to have to
Do
struggle.
you have
We're going
any
to have to struggle
opinion
relentlessly
about
to bring
this
about
man,
some peace. Because
Jimmy
the people
Jeffer?
that we're asking for peace, they're a bunch of megalomaniac warmongers, and they don't even understand what peace means. And we've got to fight them. We've got to struggle with them to make them understand what peace means. Bobby Seale is going through all types of physical and mental torture. But that's all right, because we said even before this happened, and we're going to say it after this, and after I'm locked up, and after everybody's locked up, that you can jail revolutionaries, but you can't jail a revolution. Right. You might run a liberator like Harris Cleave out the country, but you can't run liberation out the country. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighting. And if you do, you come up with answers that don't answer, explanations that don't explain. You come up with conclusions that don't conclude. And you come up with people that you thought should be acting like pigs, just acting like people and moving on pigs. And that's what we've got to do. So we're going to see about Bobby, regardless of what these people think we should do. Because school is not important and work is not important. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism, because fascism will stop us all. We're going to see about Bobby because Bobby came and saw about us. When I saw that he had 16 pieces of adhesive tape strapped across his mouth, when I saw the gauze around his head, when I saw that his ankles were strapped in leg irons to his chair and his hands handcuffed to his side, I knew that we would unite in this country to stop this outrageous criminal Nixon stampede over elementary human rights. We will free Bobby Seale and we will stop this trial.
A lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that words that Elvis uses a lot. But what we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same types of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we said that we'll work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution, because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We're going to have to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people. That's an insult, and that's criminal. It's going to take a lot of hard work.
Come on in, little brother. Come on in, little sister. Y'all can sit down and get something to eat. Y'all take off y'all coat. We need some more cups out here. Sit down, man. Everybody gonna eat. Y'all can eat as much as y'all want to. Right on. Who want a plate? You want cereal? Who all want cereal? 1, 2, 3. Who wants cereal? Raise their hand up. Anybody want some milk? All right. Whose milk is this over here? Well, drink it. That's good for your teeth, man. It makes your teeth strong. Who left this milk over here?
That's what the versatility program is. A lot of people think it's charity, but what does it do? It takes the people from a stage to another stage to another stage. And any program, the revolutionaries and advanced programs, revolution is change, unending, just keep on changing. That's what we do. We take the people in there and take them through those changes, and before you know it, they are in fact not only knowing what socialism is, they don't even have to know what it is. They're endorsing and they're participating and they're observing and they're supporting socialism.
Oh, you finna go to school now? All right. Right on. All power to the people.
That's the people thing. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. You basically knowing my ideology, basically you knowing me knowing yours, you can support some of our programs. Is that what you're saying?
Why not?
And you believe in programs like the Breast and Children program.
By the way,
Those
are the first thing I
see. We believe they're good things.
Starting this show. Talk
As a
about
focal point to organize their mothers and fathers. Peace.
Did you ever still say that he was
there's no educational program
of the alphabet group?
That's come out of social life sometimes. You set that up, but I mean, we can't put everything on one piece of paper.
He hated blacks so
Credit union? Credit union. Credit union, my brother. If you're hip, are you hip to credit unions? It is a bank.
Yeah, you go and borrow money.
Yeah, it's a bank. It's a bank. Owned by the people, run for the people, and by the people.
What will money be given out to people for?
Well, the people would decide that. You want to buy, whatever, the people in the community decide. You need some living room furniture, maybe? You need a car, maybe?
See, the thing is with me, you dig, I need to know some more about it. I wish you had some more literature about the educational thing here. Because you dig, as far as we're concerned in the struggle, the way we look at struggle is that this depends on the educational thing, you dig. Because
this depends on the education. Well, the whole thing.
No, but in the end, this does. You can form this with no education. You can form this.
No, not the way we're talking about forming it. Right. We're talking about forming it right. It's not on the paper. We didn't write it on the paper.
Form it right with no education.
No.
Let me give you an example. Jomo Kenyatta formed the excellent revolution with no education. And then at the end thing, Jomo told the motherfucker, said, well, you can educate hate the enemy, but I'm your brother. I'll help you lead the revolution. Now I'm more pressure. Another example, Papa Doc in Haiti. Papa Doc in Haiti hated everything white. Man, you couldn't put the white people in front of Papa Doc's face, but he moved all the white people out. He took over and be oppressed. He did, because no education. And the people that have been educated, they said that we don't hate the motherfucker white people, we hate the oppressors, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow. So we got to know the educational program to find out what is going to be in the finale. A lot of people, Jomo Kenyatta is called not a revolutionary, but an ex-revolutionary. So it's Papa Doc. They brought on a successful revolution. That thing in the Mama's was a bitch. Bantu freedom fighters, all that kind of action. What we're saying is the end. But you don't judge Castro now. You can't do it. Nobody in this room could judge whether Castro's going to be a revolutionary or not. You know what I mean? We're talking about things, you know what I mean, with China, the People's Republic, and even at the stage they're in now, talking about even going on further into a communistic state. That's what we're talking about. Those are revolutionary. So we got to understand here the educational program that you have to be able to figure out whether it will go on the right lines where the people will end up in a situation where they can be able to really control themselves. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, the people that take this local foundation start stealing money because they won't be really educated to why it's the people's thing anyway. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, you have neo-colonialism instead of colonialism, like you got in Africa now, like you got in Haiti. So what we're talking about is there has to be an educational program. That's very important. As a matter of fact, we're so important with us that a person has to go through 6 weeks of our political education before he can consider himself a member of the party, able to even run down ideology for the party. Why? Because if they don't have the education, then they're nowhere. They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionalist movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more. And before you know it, they'll be capitalists. And before you know it, we have Negro imperialists.
Yeah, but see, brother, the reason we don't do a lot of talking because what you say is foregone conclusion with us.
Yeah, well, see, brother, the reason I do a lot of talking is because there's no foregone conclusion with me.
Who are they programs geared towards? You got Black Easter, you got Black Christmas, you got Black Round All Day, you got Black April Fool, ain't geared toward nobody but Black businessmen. And I say that anybody that comes into our community and does any type of situation that does not meet the needs of the masses, then I, Chairman President of the Black Panther Party, says that I catch that nigga by his collar neck and beat him to death with a Black Panther paper. We not doing it.
In that area where you have a high infant mortality rate, where you have lead poisoning, where you have inadequate medical service, we saw the basic need for free medical service, and we worked hard and worked over long periods of time in order to make that a reality. Now, up to this day in the Black community, you have doctors there who are more concerned with private wealth rather than public health. The concept behind the medical center is that we would take the profit out of the medical profession. Our medical center is a direct result of the basic need in the Black community for a free medical service.
You had this done about 3 days ago, you said? This is not the burned hand. This is another one. Oh, okay.
Does it feel painful? No, it's not painful. Like it's infected and everything? No, it's not painful. Looks good. Looks good, yeah.
We got doctors every day this week. Next week, we need one for next Thursday.
Come to the clinic tomorrow for an appointment.
What are the chances of an ambulance now? If we can buy an ambulance, that's the best chance. What about the idea is all right, but the idea is all right, but we just have to have money to get an ambulance.
Well, how much can you use ambulance?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm going to bring a couple of pharmacists from the hospital where I am. They want to come out and see it, and they're interested in working,
We can have patients come through, see a doctor. After they get through, get a test, what have you. Then they comes in and see the people's advocate. That's a community person or person in the party who acts like a liaison between the center here itself and the community. He asks them what type of service they thought they got here in the center, any other criticism of the medical center itself. It's also to deal with problems outside medical problems, People's Advocate has a resource file. In this file, we have teachers, sociologists, speech therapists, social workers. This is all part of the resource file.
Okay, well, look at here. Look at here. You sit over here and thought about all that jail time he had behind his motherfucking back and say, I got the rap too. Our Deputy Minister of Defense, he got to say so. This is Bobby Rush, Deputy Minister of Defense for the state of Illinois. Bad motherfucker. You can tell the way that Chairman Bobby Seale feels the way about Huey P. Newton. I feel the same way about Bobby Rush. We didn't start the Black Panther Party, but we do know this, that we are some bad motherfuckers. The Black Panther Party is going to remain here in the state of Illinois. You know, sometimes we get to talking and I go to court, and they say, well, Fred, I come back and Rush said, Fred, we got to keep you on the street. Then Rush will go to court, he'll come back and I said, Rush, we got to keep you on the street. And after we just went back and forth, we decided that we like each other so well, goddamn it, we both gonna stay on the motherfucking street.
Last together will never and ever be on the side of
we're gonna stay right here with the people.
It's all about
we're going to have to move, we got to move fast, we got to move hard, we're going to have to move organized to be able to keep Bobby Rush on the street. They got our field secretary, they standing Junior up against the wall. They got our Mr. Mason Chalk up against the wall.
Hampton, they are
everybody got Chairman Fred up against the wall. Everybody against the wall.
But
then you talking about giving folks 20 years. You talking about giving me 20 years.
These are people that are black.
For ice cream truck robbery. That's right. $71 worth of ice cream. 710 ice cream bars. I might be big, but I can't eat 710 ice cream bars.
Come out to be fighting. When you come out to oppose young people. Understand,
but even though they tried to give you all that bad publicity, they still came out in the end showing the true nature of a panther. Because they said, I went into the truck, beat up this pig that was in our community exploiting people, took the ice cream bars from him, handed them out to the kids. Even though they made me a thief, they made me a Robin Hood type thief. Game to the people.
Jibba, I was trying to say that whenever we see people, of course, people who come out actually to talk about, of course, issues concerning the black people, issues concerning Africans, people who come out to tell the reality. Actually, people, revolutionaries, people we see that, of course, they are making our people to be, to unite, our people to come together, to stand for our rights, to end racism, to end segregation at all levels. These are people that are being killed. These are people that are being, of course, accused of committing different crimes. This is what these people do. Because when you look at this guy who was killed when he was young because he had the voice, because he was speaking for the voiceless, because he had the charisma, he had the strength to defend and fight for black rights. So they ended up accusing him of being a militant, of being against the government and stuff. So how can the FBI, an investigation bureau, be engaged in such, of course, in such things? They end up killing him. Is, of course, is FBI there to kill people or to investigate wrong people? Why is that the people? I have not seen whites that have, yeah, there are few. There are some whites that FBI has been investigating on. But when you look at, when you Google, FBI has been investigating on black people. Let them be musicians, let them be actors. If at all you come out to open your mouth to speak the truth, it is the same way they killed Bob Marley. They ended up killing him. It is the same FBI. They are committing a lot of crimes over time.
Here's a man who represents the people. Deputy Minister of Defense for the state of Illinois. Bad motherfucker. A brother of mine, a brother I've been working with a long time, I'm going to continue to work with. I'm going to eat with him. I'm going to sleep with him. I'm going to die with him. I'm going to live with him. I'm going to lead with him. Bobby Rush.
We're going to take the case to the people, and the people say that Fred is going to remain free, that Fred is innocent of anything against the people. He might be guilty of fucking over the power structure, but we can relate to that. All power to the people. and we're going to move on this power structure. And like Bobby said, we're going to say, get up against the wall, motherfucker, because it's a hold up, and we came to get what's ours. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to organize a movement so big to make sure that the leaders of the Black Panther Party in this state are not political prisoners and are not exiled or not killed, that movement is going to be so big that we might even have to go and get Huey P. Newton and let him carry a sign. We're going to have everybody involved. We're going to have everybody involved. And we're going to start a thing called Free Fred. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Hey, I ain't even in jail yet.
People of Illinois versus Fred Hampton, the Honorable Judge of Life Society.
The defense will call this first witness.
I'd like you again to describe to me what happened, if anything, after you and Officer Duffy pulled onto the school ground.
Well, I identify you as the person who grabbed me by the throat and held me down in the ice cream stand. We were walking, looking through the crowd, looking for the one who would beat him up.
And what, if anything, did he say when he saw me? Or what, if anything, did you say to him? Who said something first?
He said, "That's him. I'll never forget his face. That's the one."
Okay, now when that police car pulled up, what, if anything, happened?
Well, one policeman was on the outside of the car and one was on the inside of the car. Officer Gunn pointed to Fred and said, "That's the man that did it, isn't it?"
Mm-hmm.
And the ice cream man said, "Yes, I think so."
So in other words, the officer pointed out he as being the person who had robbed this man, and in response to that, after that, the ice cream truck driver said, "I guess that's the man."
That's right.
What race were these policemen?
One was white and one was colored.
Right on. Officer Dunn, do you know the defendant Fred Hampton?
Yes, I know Fred Hampton.
Do you know basically what Fred Hampton stands for? Politically.
No, I don't.
Officer Dunn, do you know the situation that poor people, black people and white poor people and red people and brown people are in this country today?
Well, not completely.
But you do know that part that you do know, is that part include the fact that these people are being oppressed by some white people that like to oppress people to make profit? Do you know that?
Objection. Sustained.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you know that a whole lot of blood-sucking pigs are Do you know? Do you think you're free, Officer Dunn?
Yes, I think I'm free.
No more questions, Officer Dunn. God help you. So we always say the Black Panther Party that they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs. That's what the Panthers are doing. That's what the Panthers are doing all over the world.
We have brought to trial here Fred Hampton. You are here to judge between two conflicting testimonies. Somebody is lying. Now, reason stands, reason is very clear here, that Private Jones, who had come from Sanford, North Carolina, would have no great desire to see Fred Hampton up in this trial. But Fred Hampton, a key figure in this community, has great reason for not wanting to be put in jail.
But the state's attorney and the state's attorney's office has reasons to see Fred Hampton in jail. We've got a new state's attorney, you see. And he said already what he thought about people that had different political beliefs than he had. His speeches sound somewhat like those of Hitler. And we know why he wants to see Fred Hampton put in jail. Why do I have a lot of arrests? Because of harassment. Why is that harassment? Because the people that harass me have set up a problem that made me disagree with them violently, and they set up this problem in order to exploit me and other people like me. And why they want to get rid of me? Because I'm saying something that might wake up some other exploited people and some other oppressed people, and if all these people ever get together, then these pigs that are exploiting us, we'll be able to run them into the lake. That's why they want to get rid of us. And it's just, it's sort of like a primary thing with me. I'm the first move that they'll make. I'm a part of the organization. It will be the first organization they'll move on because I happen to be a part of the organization, the Black Panther Party. That is the only organization, in fact, that has came out and stood up loud and clear and said that we don't care what anybody says, whether they have guns or not and badges or 18 uniforms. If whenever they step outside the bounds of legality into the bounds of illegality, then we'll blow their brains out if they're bothering the people. And what makes them mad about that? They're constantly bothering the people. Anybody that's out there for the protection of the people happens to be in direct conflict with them. What makes them mad about it? What makes them mad about it is that they have black people and white poor people and red poor people and Puerto Rican poor people and Latin American Puerto Rican people of poor people of all descents. They had them caught up in their movements based on racism when the Black Panther Party stood up and said that we don't care what anybody says. We don't think you fight fire with fire best. We think you fight fire with water best. We're going to fight racism, not with racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity. We said we're not going to fight capitalism with black capitalism, but we're going to fight it with socialism. We stood up and said we're not going to fight reactionary pigs and reactionary state's attorneys like this and reactionary state's attorneys like Hanrahan with any other reactions on our part. We're going to fight their reactions where all of us people are getting together and have an international 410 revolution. Right on. Right on. And that's saying all power to the people. Right. That's saying that no matter what color you are, there's only two classes. And that's saying there's a class over here and there's a class over there. And the reason that this class over here has never did anything to get this class off its back because this is lower, this is upper. This is the oppressed, this is the oppressor. This is the exploited, this is the exploiter. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin American and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly and I hate Indians. So we fight amongst each other. And you've heard the testimony of pigs here, and you got pigs of all colors, you know that. You got pigs that are white, you got pigs that are black, you even got pigs that are black and white. Propagating the same type of madness that this buffoon Hanrahan would be propagating if he were here himself. And why? Because they want to keep you to believing that I'm your enemy, and that everybody else that's black and that wears a lot of hair on his head and hair on his face, they want to keep you thinking that he's your enemy. Why? Because if ever you would disregard him and overlook him just for a minute and throw away that question of racism and start into dealing with a little logic, then there would be no one else you could attack other than Hanrahan, other than Davy, and other than Tricky Dicky Nixon. If you make the right decision, then the oppressed people of the world get complete satisfaction. I know you return a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Today is May 1st. UEP Newton trial is up for appeal today. Our chairman, Fred Hampton, has not arrived yet. The pigs are trying to incarcerate him. These are some of the things we have to deal with. Somebody somewhere so dead. You motherfucking pigs, get off your dead asses, FBI and J. Who Edgar. Right up. And find Fred before 7 o'clock.
You find Fred, motherfucker. Right on. And if anybody's out there with him, that's harming him, or that's kidnapped him, and he happens to be a pig, well, then we just don't discriminate by whose ass we gonna keep. So y'all go home now and grease them pieces. Set them sights and whatnot. Raise the windows. And if we can't find Fred, we're gonna give y'all a call. I know somebody's gonna construe this to mean that we advocate people to go out and ride. And I told y'all before, the riding just ain't no hip thing. So we want everybody, when they leave here, we gotta leave here at 2 o'clock, I think. Hey, Pig back there, do we have to leave here at 2?
Ask him again.
Hey, Pig in the back. Come on, you talk that cheap pig, that old, decrepit motherfucker. And that's why you stay a little while longer. Put it on my head.
Marxism consists of thousands of troops, but they all boil down to one center.
Right, it's rebel. You dig it? Panther headquarters. A police raid is expected.
We're praying that Henry leads charge. Praying he leads charge. I said that kid was checking out tonight. I do. We go out there, yeah, but they be here. We don't know what time they be here, but we think they'll be here. Look at that. Okay. That's right, I got it. What type of blood do you have? Be positive. Make sure you don't get no pig blood. Huh? What type of blood do you have? Red, right now.
All those posters by the window. When if atom bomb, tear gas is thrown, here's your water and your mask. Keep this on you all the time.
I know a lot of people, that hear things like this and see things like this, couldn't understand the motive behind it. Some of us young people, you know what I mean? A lot of people couldn't understand. See, me myself, I was born in a so-called bourgeois community and had some of the better things you could see in life. And I found that even some of the better things in life for black people wasn't too cool. And I found that it was more people starving than it was people eating. And I found that more people didn't have clothes than they did have clothes. And I found that I just happened to be one of the few. And I made a commitment to myself that I wouldn't stop doing what I'm doing until all those people are free. A lot of times I wanted for it to be possible for people to be free under capitalism. I wanted it for socialism to be able to be brought about through means other than violent means. But those were times when I was trying to be subjective. I was looking at things and trying to make them the way I wanted to make them be. Because I didn't mind dying, but I just thought, well, everybody shouldn't have to die. And what we're saying is that we're more than people that are for armed struggle. We're people that are for armed struggle, for the purpose of bringing on the people's revolution, for the purpose of setting up initially a socialistic state, and for the purpose, secondarily, of advancing into what you could call utopia or what we would call a communist state. We're saying that by observation and participation, by educating and by arming and by teaching the people revolutionary political power, we think that we as the vanguard can move those people that need to be moved that way. We can let those people ride our backs as oxen down the path of social revolution. And on and on and on, and finally, like we said, utopianism, or what you call communism. We're very confident that nobody's coming to the front door. Nobody, no gas. Nobody getting on the roof, Jeff. I want you to know that. Nobody getting on the roof. We believe in, what is it, fire, cover, and the Minister of Health and doctors going to be covering me while I'm loading up.
Now, see, in other given situations, like when you're trying to fight an enemy, see, because when you got height on him and you got firepower too, You want it back.
What do you say? Yeah, but look here. What do you say about this building? Right over there on West, around the corner, West. I think about 10, 12 stories.
It's higher than this.
Yeah.
Now see, the only way we can get him is out shoot him or give him more firepower. See, we can keep him pinned down. He can't get up and shoot. There's too many bullets coming at him. So the only way that we can get him is out shoot him. Put too much firepower on him where he can't raise up.
Well, therefore, what you're saying is we got to eliminate, destroy that process out of our mind by firing from the balance like that.
No. You just that and a whole lot of semi-automatic and automatic action on him over there, and he ain't got no time to say nothing.
That's right.
Just keep it down.
You know, they might sound reactionary on my part, man, but I just wish they would come tonight.
Yeah, well, I want them to come. I wish they would.
I said the people.
Why don't you get a military viewpoint of how much chance they got to come up here?
No, it's impossible.
That's right. What is it said? There's a difference between 20 million niggas and
This is impossible, man. I ain't bullshit. I ain't know, and I didn't realize it. Man.
007.
Yeah, exactly.
See, we put Rush out there and you, and he won't even be able to get up. Two aim.
Hey, we aren't asking for no water. No, but the way I see it, yeah, but the way I see it, the kids try to take this here office. I think the people had the first people's victory. Wait a minute, who was that? Wait a minute,
We're going in line right here. People come no further. They are not going to make us retreat. We're going to have somewhere, no matter how far we run, no matter how long we have to run, that when we reach that point, we're going to be able to stop and say in the bunch and hear you say it is. That, motherfucker, you what you for, you dig? Because I got my gun, motherfucker, and you got yours. And if you try to shoot me with your gun, motherfucker, if you try to take my gun, then I can blow your motherfucking brains out. That's what it's got to be about. That's what it's got to be about. You stand and have reached your verdict.
We have, Your Honor.
What is your verdict?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Fred Hampton, not guilty.
Illinois chapter, Black Panther Party, 2350 West Madison, Chicago, Illinois. Press release, May 27th, 1969. Pig power structure and their lackeys, in another attempt of pig repression, have sentenced Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton to 2 to 5 years in prison.
While Chairman Fred is in prison, the police attack Panther headquarters. There are 3 Panthers in the office, 5 policemen are shot. The 3 Panthers are beaten when they run out of ammunition.
The revolution I am revolutionary. You gotta go now, bang, bang, you gotta go now, bang, bang, you gotta go now, bang, bang.
The first time the headquarters have been raided.
Second time, it wasn't raided. This time we were attacked, man.
They just, you can look at the windows, man.
Was there a fire in the?
They said after they got the pig set up fire, they did it. After they got the brothers down, they went back up there and the fire started.
Nobody was up there except the police when the fire started.
Right.
Frank, you want to come?
Get a picture of that dude.
Yeah, check that door out, man. This is magnified shotgun.
Learned enough from other bystanders to confirm the woman's story. Cook said similar tactics have been used to raid on Panther offices in other cities recently. The Panthers, Cook said, have strict standing orders not to fire, but return any fire directed at them. Injured man, identified as Larry White, right on. An attendant at Cook County Hospital said they had head wounds and undetermined gravity. It was believed the man may have been injured while scuffling with police seeking to take them into custody. Right on, Pete. Pete ran it. Pete jumped from the roof. Right on! Right on, Pete. He's taking them doors. Right on, Pete. Pete ran it. Pete ran it. I don't want to. Whether it be somewhere.
We here. We ain't going nowhere. We say to Pig, Daly, Hammerhead, Hannaran, Pig Collins, and the rest, no more brothers will be taken from us without cause. Chairman Fred is gone from the streets where his heart and his people are, but not for long. For the people's love for Fred, Hampton is lovelier than lovely.
Last night, when the pigs vamped on the office, the community were all out there. They were in the uproar. They couldn't dig it because they know we are the People's Party. We are working in the interest of the people. You dig it? I'd like to talk about what we're doing because we're in the Black Panther Party. Yeah, we are. We are our propaganda unit. But we spend most of our time working with these programs and helping the people, serving the people. Huey P. Newton, our Minister of Defense, says that the Black Panther Party is an organization like Oxen to be ridden by the people down the path of social revolution. You dig it? That's what it's all about. They jumped on our office because of these programs. And we putting these programs out for the people. Dig it? That's what they're for. The programs are the answer the basic needs and desires of the people, to let the people know that the Black Panther Party is concerned about the basic needs and desires of the people, to educate the people to the fundamentals of socialism and to heighten the contradiction. That's what it's all about. And they're going to attack us because we ain't talking about the Black Panther Party is going to overthrow this government. We saying we're going to heighten the contradiction so the people can see the injustices that go on and the people can decide whether the government needs changes or not.
People get ready. Revolution come, you don't need no ticket, just the load is done. All you need is a meaning and love for the people. You don't need no ticket, just the load is done. I believe, pray, and we must all be free.
Learned a lot when I was in prison. I had an educational process, a learning process. Sometimes I started thinking about some of the actions going to be taken against me and other members of the party, and I said, I don't know why I'm not scared. You know what I define as being? I define as being a people high. I define as being high off the people. You high? I'm high.
people send me away to the penitentiary. And I went to the penitentiary way down in Menard, Illinois. I'm thinking, I said, well, I'm way down here in the country. I might can't hear no people. When I got to Menard, I myself, even being in the vanguard, had to get on my knees and learn from the people. I had to put my ear to the ground. And when I put my ear to the ground, I heard a beat. Hear that beat. Always hear the beat for the rest of my life. Feel all right about the beat? Give me a beat now. Come on, now. Ain't you hot? Ain't you hot? Ain't you hot? I'm high. I'm high. Oh, I'm high. I'm high. Oh, I'm high. Oh, I'm high. Oh, I'm high. I'm free. Yeah. You know what we're talking about? We're talking about a beat that can't be stopped by anybody. We're talking about we're going to make some changes in this system. We know they have our pictures. We know they're looking for us. We know they want us. But we're still saying that even though we could be in a spin, as far as this system goes, on the mountaintop, we in the Black Panther Party, because of our dedication and understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends are in the valley. We say, even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. I be in the office every day. I be in the streets propagandizing every day. I be working with everybody every day. I be teaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete wipeout of imperialism is the thing. So if you're going to be thinking about me, that's what Bobby would be teaching. If you're going to be thinking about us, all we say is ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we'd be doing if we were here. And you got to do that. You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. In the spirit of liberation, we understand that they want everybody in the party in jail. And we know that if we try to figure out and separate and divide who should go and who shouldn't go, we spend more time doing that than working for the people. So the quick solution, the speedy one, nobody goes. Nobody goes. We all stay right here. With the people. Because we love the people. Okay, you put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here, you know what I'm saying? The last word, before you go to bed tonight, say I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it, and you might, end up in what they call it, revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary.
That's where the children was died.
We can mourn today, but if we understood Fred, if we are dedicated that his life wasn't given in vain, then there won't be no more mournings tomorrow. Then all our sorrow will be turned into action. He said, but you have to remember, and that's be strong. He wasn't afraid of anything.
The immediate, violent, criminal reaction of the occupants in shooting at announced police officers emphasizes the extreme viciousness of the Black Panther Party. So does their refusal to cease firing at the police officers when urged to do so several times. This is 23 described by police as a depot for Black Panther Party arms and States Attorney's policeman, led by Sergeant Daniel Groth, found out indeed it was a depot for weapons. Cost Illinois Black Panther Party Chairman Fred Hampton his life. Sergeant Groth described the parade as 50 minutes of hell and a miracle. A miracle because not one policeman was killed, a miracle because not more policemen were shot. The firing stopped only when the occupants realized their arsenal was no match for the police arsenal, an arsenal that included a .45 caliber submachine gun and 2 shotguns.
What they didn't understand, and what Edward B. Henry doesn't understand, and what Richard Jolivet, his chief assistant, didn't understand, and what those police officers who put those 2 bullets in the skull of his head as he lay asleep didn't understand, and what Richard Nixon and his assistant lackey, Mr. Mitchell, don't understand,
is that you can't kill Chairman Fred.
right on!
What they didn't understand is that anyone who would try to kill him is and shall ever be an enemy of the people. And that whoever would do that can only be appropriately called not a person, but a pig. What they didn't understand when they did that is that pigs die, but Chairman Fred lives.
You are the ones who are gonna decide for yourselves what happened in that apartment on the morning of December 4th. You're gonna decide whether or not Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were the victims of premeditated murder.
At this time, there's no response from within. I take my revolver in my right hand, and I found possibly 4, 5, or 6 times. A voice from within, a male voice from within, replies, "Who's there?" I respond, "Police officers, I have a search warrant. Open the door."
As soon as Sergeant Daniel Groth and Officer James Davis, who were leading our men, announced their office, occupants of the apartment attacked them with shotgun fire.
I wait several seconds. There's no reply from within. The door is not open. I again take my revolver in my right hand. I wait a second or so. A male voice from within the apartment says, "Just a minute."
There was no response from the group. There was no verbal response.
The response from the group was the firing of a shotgun blast at our police officers.
There was no verbal response in addition to that.
The response to our police officers was the firing at them by a person in the apartment.
Didn't they ask who was it?
When the police officers announced their office, they were fired upon.
Did they ask who was it at the door?
I look at Duke. Okay, Duke. Going over to about here. Then I hit the door. And I go to the bed. Duke forces this door here open. Simultaneously with that, we enter. A shot rings out. Duke falls off in this direction. I enter in a semi-erect position. There's a woman lying on the bed with a shotgun, calmly pumping it, pointed in my direction, and fires. The fire illuminates her face. I get a very good look at her. I feel something go over my left shoulder. I then step back here. I look in, get up on my toes, point my revolver, look in again, cover my face, and fire several shots at the girl.
I heard a knock on the door. They said policeman told us to open up. And Mark Clark, he said, just a minute, he got up. And next thing I knew, they had busted into the door. They came in shooting. They shot me, they shot Mark Clark.
This woman fires a shot. And the illumination apparently illuminates, or Dan shooting illuminates a fellow sitting behind the door in a chair. He's pumping his shotgun. I turn in his direction. I fired 2 shots at him. As the shots apparently with him, he stands up. I stand up with him. We struggle. He falls down over the chair on the floor with his head facing the corner of the door here in the wall. I fall across his body.
This here is the room where the first brother Mark Clark was murdered at.
Don't touch nothing, don't move nothing, because we want to keep everything just the way it is. Don't touch no walls. Please don't.
Okay, this here is the door that they said the sister fired through with a shotgun. But if the sister had fired through this door with a shotgun, you can look at the wall out there and see some holes where the pellets had left out there. You can see no signs of a shotgun blast being fired through this door here.
Sir, you say your men were fired upon. Witnesses who have seen the apartment say there is no evidence of bullets from the direction where the Panthers supposedly were to be.
I said that after our officers announced their purpose and their station several times, they were fired upon from within the room.
We say this is nothing more than a fascist lie to justify the murder that took place in this crib here. This doorway here, which is absent of a door has been removed and is now in the possession of our defense attorneys, and it's going to be used in our case to prove that what happened here was nothing more than murder.
After days of maneuvering, Black Panther attorney Francis Andrew finally brought a bullet-punctured door panel to the inquest. However, a controversy immediately arose as to whether Andrew's panel was the same one that was removed from the Black Panther apartment. This is Andrew's version.
Which side is the outside, sir?
The outside, you're looking from the inside now.
Looking from the inside now?
Yes. Look out this side.
That's the inside?
This is the outside.
It looks like the door is splintered on both sides.
You'll see that there is a hole up here, which none of the police in their testimony have mentioned. As a matter of fact, they have denied this hole up here. It shows a bullet coming from the outside to the inside.
The hole at the bottom there.
The hole at the bottom is a hole that was made while the door was standing wide open.
Assistant State's Attorney Nicholas Motherway says Andrew could have gotten the door panel at any lumber yard. Motherway's point was backed up at least in part by a police crime lab technician who examined the door in the Panther apartment the same day as the raid. The technician said, first of all, that there was only one hole in the panel the day he examined it, and second of all, he said that he couldn't be sure the panels were one and the same.
December 4th, 1969 at 10:54 a.m. My name is Skip Andrew, and I'm at 2337 West Monroe Street, Chicago, Illinois. This door, which is the door entering into the living room, has 2 holes in it. This one I'm pointing to right here, 10 inches from the edge, and this one down here, 12 inches. The first one I referred to being 25 from the top, and the second one 36 from the top. Now, as you open this, there's also, of course, a knob door in this one. As you open this door, there's blood behind the door. The top hole shows that the bullet was incoming.
They fired through the door and hit the brother through the door.
The brother fell here. Most of the blood is dried up, but you can see a little bit of it there and a little bit of it on the floor. The brother was shot 4 or 5 times, so after they came through the door, they shot him again to make sure he was dead.
Mr. Montgomery, Dr. Constantino testified today that Mark Clark could not have struggled after receiving that shot through the heart. Now,
yes, it seems to me that that was a very startling thing. We also learned that the bullet, which was in fact recovered from Mr. Hampton's body, was a bullet fired out of a carbine by Officer Davis. So that indicates also that Officer Davis may well have walked into that back bedroom, contrary to his testimony, and fired a shot into the body of Fred Hampton at one point in time or other.
There were 6 of us assigned to the back door. I came up on the back porch. I placed myself to the right of the door. I put my head down enough so I could hear if there was any conversation in the building. I heard people talking in the front, and then I heard a loud shot, sounded like a shotgun. I backed up and kicked the door open. I started in, and before I could get past the threshold, there were 3 shots fired from the rear bedroom. They were directed directly at the back door as I was coming in. I backed out again.
Only by the grace of God were 1 of our or 2 of our police officers prevented from being killed when they were fired upon as soon as they announced their office and knocking on the door.
On December 11th, 1969, the Chicago Tribune carried a story that it characterized as an exclusive version from the state's attorney's office.
Why was the disclosure made in the Chicago Tribune?
Because that newspaper, the Chicago Tribune, in my opinion, gave a very balanced, fair report of the events that occurred.
It has nothing to do with the class of people or the type of people that buy the Tribune as opposed to other papers in the city.
Does anybody have a sensible question?
Included in the exclusive was a photo carefully circled to show bullet holes supposed to be in the back door.
The account that we made public yesterday gives a detailed explanation of what happened in that apartment. I stand wholeheartedly behind it as absolutely accurate.
There is one inconsistency in, well, for example,
I do not intend to quibble about that account.
You intend to get at the truth?
The account that we gave of the events is the truth.
One of the 4 pictures you gave the Tribune had 2 bullet holes on the right side of what was supposed to be the rear door.
Henry had his lied before, and he's gonna lie again. That hole that he's blown up in the papers is a hole of a nail.
Height close up of the nail head.
Plus a little bit of the door hasp.
Plus the door hasp. Mm-hmm. Now here you see the large nail heads being pointed out.
I have said that we released the pictures. We have not characterized or described the conditions that they portray, other than to say that that is an accurate portrayal of that particular object.
Do you know if any of the 4 pictures they received had portrayed bullet holes in any of the walls?
Another photo claimed to show the bullet-riddled door across from the bedroom. The officers testified that the Panthers fired into that door from inside their bedroom. In fact, the door in the photo was the bedroom door, and the holes in the door were made by police gunfire at the Panthers.
As you can see, bathroom door is intact. Not only the bathroom door, but the entire wall area is intact.
There was a picture of the inside of the door to the bathroom, yes.
That door, our reporters discovered, corresponded to one on the front living room adjoining the bedroom. There were holes in the door. When the door was open, those holes corresponded to holes that were in the wall adjoining between the bedroom and the living room. And when they stuck a stick through the holes, they all matched up.
I make no evaluation of the pictures other than to say they portray conditions as they existed in that apartment at the time those pictures were taken.
This is the door that's supposed to contain numerous marks
from a straight shotgun blast, a small arms fire, which again was fired by members of the vicious Black Panther Party who were standing in this bedroom here, shooting out into the hallway here.
I urge your inventory of each of these vicious weapons. This attack by the Black Panthers on the police, plus the weapons which were recovered at the depot where they were storing them, clearly demonstrates the true character of the Black Panther Party.
Nobody, I have never denied that there was no weapons there. As a matter of fact, he would be a fool if he didn't have a weapon there, knowing the ferociousness of the pigs, how they just jump out of the cars and shoot you down, how they knock on your door and blow 19-year-old sister's head off with shotguns, how they kill 2 brothers in 1 week. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, everybody that's concerned should have something in their home to protect themselves, because Hanrahan is a madman.
Mr. Hanrahan, can you tell me why your officers did not try to use tear gas? Isn't this the usual procedure to flush someone out of a building?
Our officers used the means necessary to effect the search and to prevent themselves from being killed upon after they were fired upon.
Isn't it true that your men usually use tear gas in situations such as this? And why didn't they use it this time?
No, that is not true.
It is not true?
They came with a murder on their mind, you see. And even if they wanted to take somebody to jail, it would be a simple matter of just shooting some tear gas in here to draw everybody out. Right on. This is where our chairman had his brains blown out, and he lay in his bed, sleeping at 4:30 in the morning.
Someone came into the room, started shaking the chairman. Said, Chairman, wake up, the pigs are vamping. Still half asleep, I looked up, and I saw bullets coming from, it looked like the front of the apartment, from the kitchen area. Pigs were just shooting. And about this time, I jumped on top of the chairman. He looked up. Looked like all the pigs converged at the entranceway to the bedroom area, back bedroom area. The mattress is just going. You could feel the bullets going into it. I just knew we'd be dead, everybody in there. When he looked up, just looked up. He didn't say a word, and he didn't move, except for moving his head up. Up. He laid his head back down to the side like that. He never said a word, and he never got up out the bed. The person who was in the room, they kept hollering out, stop shooting, stop shooting. We have a pregnant woman or a pregnant sister in here. At that time, I was 8.5 to 9 months pregnant. My baby was to be delivered in 2 weeks. Pigs kept on shooting. So he kept on hollering out. Finally, they stopped. They pushed me and the other brother by the kitchen door and told us to face the wall. The pig said, he's barely alive, he'll barely make it. I assumed they were talking about Chairman Fred. Then they started shooting the pigs, they started shooting again. I heard the sister scream. They stopped shooting. Pig said, he's good and dead now. The pigs were running around and laughing. They were really happy, you know, talking about Chairman Fred is dead. I never saw Chairman Fred again.
Inflammatory statements and false
I guess we have lost INNOSSETU because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the electricity or something. But maybe he'll come back or something. I don't know. But I'll start and from where? Okay, I guess it's coming back.
Inflammatory statements and false charges against our office have been made by spokesmen for the Black Panther Party and others, despite the fact that the speakers had no reliable knowledge about the occurrence.
Well, the best account that I can give is the room that I was in and the actions of things surrounding me personally, you know. First thing I remember when I woke up was a knock on the door, and it was only a matter of seconds. In fact, I'd say it was less than 5 seconds that I heard, you know, shots. Now, the thing that struck me was that I not only heard shots, but I can see plaster coming out of the walls in my room. So I knew the bullets were coming through the room that I was in.
I stepped over and I put the machine gun still on single fire, and I started from the left side of the wall, coming across, watching where the rounds were hitting, and I went over the girl's head, down on the other side of her, and continued fire across this wall.
One strange thing about this wall is this: the state's attorney's Gestapo rating pigs say that they fired numerous slugs going up and downward motion, attempting to avoid hitting the people in the apartment here. You notice that all these slugs are on a straight line. You also notice that all were fired at a low level, at about bed level.
Next thing I remember is someone, I think it was one of the pigs, told us to come out of the room. But there were still shots being fired. Now, I didn't know at this here time that people were coming through the back door, but I took it that shots were being fired in the back of the house and at the front of the house. And, you know, they were all coming through the walls. The walls were nothing but plasterboard. You know, a bullet come through the front of the house and would go all the way through out the back. Somebody told us to get out, but I remember we were so afraid and bullets were still coming that we remained on the floor. I heard another pause, and then one of the pigs told us that if we don't come out, he was going to put something in there that would really get him out. The idea came in my mind that he was going to shoot tear gas or something in there.
We realize that there are still some people remaining in the front bedroom. We don't know whether they're in here or not. So I plead, and I conjure, I beg them to come out. Please come out with your hands out, throw out your weapons.
But the next thing I heard was a barrage of shots, real fast. And, you know, we were hit this time.
I started with the gun, still on single fire, being very careful and watching where each round hit on the wall. I walked them around the girl sitting on the bed and brought it all the way across the wall again. As I was doing this, and he started firing across the wall from right to left. I put one shot in the door. An automatic fire into that closet. I fired 4 or 5 shotgun blasts into the bedroom. The second form, still coming up, caught a blast as the gun came further across the room.
They told me, you know, to get up and walk. And I told them I couldn't. And then I think they hit me or did something. They told me they would kill me if I stayed there. So I kept trying. I managed, you know, to get up, and I made a little hop, and I finally hopped out, you know.
I am taking the word of our policemen over what we understand is supposed to be a version provided by a defense attorney and by the occupants of the apartment.
I was hit 5 times. I was hit 2 times in the stomach, 1 time in the leg, and I was hit, grazed in each hand. Yeah.
This is just a scar. You know, I had to have a section of my colon taken out because of an infection. And I was shot over here.
I expect the general public to recognize the quality of these men's work, and the political consequences can take care of themselves. Of course I don't plan to resign.
He just changed his story every time, from newspaper to newspaper, from one channel to another channel. He's had to change his story as we've brought up facts, truths about the evidence that he reportedly have given out, such as the nail heads, such as the bullet holes and whatnot in the walls. And it's only my conclusion is that Hanrahan, if he wanted to give an objective opinion about what happened here that morning, he would have to come to this apartment and find out, because he's dealing in a whole lot of subjective analysis, because the man haven't come to the apartment to find out what really did go down in the apartment. And we invite Hanrahan here to see for himself the evidence that we have shown to the masses of people and to the public.
Have you been at the scene yourself?
No, I have not been at the scene.
Based on available evidence, namely the physical condition of the home and its contents, the physical condition of the remains of Fred Hampton, the search warrant was merely of the police was to murder and maim.
This blatant act of legitimatized murder strips all credibility from law enforcement. In the context of other acts against militant blacks in recent months, it suggests an official policy of systematic repression. The pious statements of State's Attorney Hanrahan concerning the brave response of the police against the vicious Panther attack, and his allusion to the grace of God concerning the sparing of the policemen, only makes the situation more macabre and terrifying.
As an individual, are you convinced that the official version is a lie, that it is a case of murder?
Personally, I am.
Anyone who went through that apartment and examined the evidence that was remaining there could come to only one conclusion, and that is that Fred Hampton, 21 years old and a member of a militant, well-known militant group, was murdered in his bed, probably as he lay asleep. It seems very clear to us that he was assassinated. And the police officer who did that assassination then walked away from it and said to other people, Bobby Rush is next. Now, all of you who know Bobby Rush know that he is the Minister of Defense of the Black Panther Party and also one of our clients. And all of you also, I assume, know that Bobby Rush's apartment was broken into last night and also searched. But fortunately for him, he's still alive because he was not in the apartment.
Do you think if you had been in your apartment yesterday, you would have been shot by police?
Yes, I would have been murdered. I still think there's a great possibility of people trying to murder me. All the moves in the past, the initiative has been on the part of the police. They've murdered Fred Hampton. They're out to murder me. It's like they'll murder anybody that's black in this country.
You think there's going to be retaliation then by the Panthers?
There won't be any retaliation by the Panthers. I think that the time will come when the people themselves will take the power that belongs to them into their hands and move to guarantee life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We will not be forced underground until the people we really feel satisfied that we've done our duty, performed our duty to educate the masses of the people to the injustices that the power structure inflicts upon poor people in this country. All the mass demonstrations that young people endorse, this is happening right now.
Bobby, what's the next move for you personally?
There's no personal anymore. I'm the people's man, so I have to whatever the people decide. There's nothing personal about it whatsoever. And the Panthers will be there to serve the people in the end.
Okay, thank you very much.
Of course, numerous people have attempted to make formal and informal investigations with a report by the grand jury for the Federal District Court in the Northern District of Illinois. Then I quote, "This report contains the findings of the grand jury after hearing nearly 100 witnesses and considering over 130 exhibits, including police records, photographs, moving pictures, transcripts of testimony before other bodies, voluminous investigative and scientific reports, and reports of investigative interviews with over 100 potential witnesses who were not called. And of course, among the main witnesses before the federal grand jury were the 14 raiders in the apartment, the police officers who were assigned to the state's attorney's office. The report tells us, contrary to some of their testimony prior to the grand jury proceedings, the report tells us that at 4 a.m. on December 4, Sergeant Groth briefed the 13 assembled officers and told them the location of the raid and that Panther arms were involved.
Did you know that they were Black Panthers?
No, we didn't. We just knew that we were informed that there were guns and contraband in the building.
Did you have information that indicated that Fred Hampton might be there?
Not to my knowledge.
You just knew that there were guns and possibility of that these may have been Black Panthers?
All we knew is there were guns in there.
At this point, it appears that the people who are deceased were in the gun battle.
Oh, they were definitely in a gun battle.
I mean, they were firing at police.
Yes, sir. We saw the shots coming out of the two bedrooms.
Sergeant Groth, of course, from the beginning claimed, along with his fellow officers, that a shot had been fired by a young Panther woman in the far corner of the living room door as the officers entered the door. The report, however, explains the impossibility of this account given by the officers. Reading again now from the report from page 181, it says, Groth, Davis, Jones, and Gorman, those are all officers, all insist that a shot was fired by Brenda Harris at them as they came in the door. None of them could explain what had become of this shot, and it is not possible to draw a line from the southeast corner of the living room, where Harris was said by Davis and Groth to be on the bed holding the gun, out through the living room door, the entrance hall door, and the outside door. There are no holes in the west wall of the apartment.
Officer Carmody, when you knocked on the door, what happened?
Well, I didn't actually knock. I heard our officers at the front announce their office and shots fired. So I kicked in the back door, and as soon as the door opened, I could see shots being fired at us at the back door.
Do you have any idea how many shots were fired?
Quite a few. I have no idea.
Do you have any idea over how long a period the gun battle ensued?
Like an hour to me.
Of course, the raiders would have us believe that they approached the apartment in a gentlemanly fashion, that they were attempting to save human life. They knocked on the door and they announced their purpose. They fired no shots until they were fired at. They called for a ceasefire on at least 3 different occasions.
Thereafter, 3 times, Sergeant Groth ordered all his men to cease firing and told the occupants to come out with their hands up. Each time, one of the occupants replied, shoot, and they continued firing at the police officers.
By their own testimony, they admit that for 12 minutes, for 12 solid minutes in those early morning hours, there was gunfiring in that apartment. And yet the federal grand jury concludes that only one possible shot could have come from a Panther weapon. And that shot could have come through the door by a man who had just been shot in the heart. They would have us believe that even though there was only one Panther shot, they called for a ceasefire on 3 different occasions and didn't get it, and so they continued their firing. The great variance between the physical evidence and the testimony of the officers raises the question as to whether the officers are falsifying their accounts. Those officers fired 99 shots through the walls of an apartment where they knew people were sleeping. Murder is defined in Illinois as follows: a person who kills an individual without lawful justification commits murder if, in performing the acts which cause the death, he knows that such acts create a strong probability of death or great bodily harm to that individual or another. Federal grand jury comes to its conclusions. Unquestionably, the raid was not professionally planned or properly executed, and the result of the raid was 2 deaths, 4 injuries, and 7 improper criminal charges. In spite of those conclusions, the report then goes on to say, the physical evidence and the discrepancies in the officers' accounts are insufficient to establish probable cause to charge the officers with a willful violation of the occupant's civil rights.
I want you to know that I want you to say, if you ever think about me, and if you think about me, niggas, and if you ain't gonna do no revolutionary act, forget about me. I don't want myself on your mind if you're not gonna work for the people. Like we always said, if you actually make a commitment at the age of 20, and you say, I don't want to make that commitment only because of the simple reason that I'm too young to die, I want to live a little bit longer. What you did, you did already. You have to understand, the people have to pay the price for peace. If you dare to struggle, you dare to win. If you dare not to struggle, then goddamn it, you don't deserve to win. Let me say peace to you if you're willing to fight for it. Let me say it in the spirit of liberation. I've been gone for a little while.
Yeah,
at least my body's been gone. You ain't got to repeat after me. At least my body's been gone for a little while. But I'm back now.
Yeah, true, Jibijaba. That spy was his bodyguard. So after that night, they had a drink. That spy, that bodyguard, actually left around, of course, 1:30 in the morning, 1 a.m. in the morning. So that guy left, that bodyguard of Fred. So he gave him stuff.
And I believe that I'm back to stay. I believe that I'm going to do my job, and I believe that I was born not to die in a car wreck. I don't believe I'm going to die in a car wreck. I don't believe I'm going to die from splitting on a piece of ice. I don't believe I'm going to die because I got a bad heart. I don't believe I'm going to die because of lung cancer. I believe that I'm going to be able to die what I was in the thing that I was born for. I believe that I'm going to be able to die high off the people. I believe that I will be able to die as a revolutionary in the international revolutionary proletarian struggle. And I hope that each one of you will be able to die in the international proletarian revolutionary struggle, or you didn't be able to live in it. And I think that struggle is going to come. Why don't you live for the people? Why don't you struggle for the people? Why don't you die for the people?
So actually, that is how, of course, Fred Hampton ended up being killed. And of course, there are no vivid evidence that, of course, that the CIA and other investigation organizations bring out. They most of them say this was, during that time, many of the revolutionary movements, actually, the CIA made it possible so that they don't they don't come, of course, they don't corroborate. They created a lot of confusion so that these movements, they collide, they be in fighting. So most of the conclusions, they are said to be like it is the other party that was fighting this, but in reality, he was assassinated and he was killed. So the FBI was, of course, following up this young dude. The FBI was following him for a long time, and they ended up killing him. And what hurts most is, like, most of the time they use our own. When you look at the way they use it, because this bodyguard was a black guy who actually who given, of course, who of course put that toxic thing that made him to sleep, so that whenever they were during raids, he couldn't be awake by that time. He was a black guy, and there is no way these whites will make a final conclusion, or whatever they do, whatever they do, let it be killing, and they at the last they point their hands at themselves. Let's look at the killing of Gaddafi of course, in 2011 in Libya. Gaddafi was killed, but at the end, They said it is these protesters, it is a rebel group in Libya that killed Gaddafi. But in reality, it is these people that killed Gaddafi. Ria, GB Jabba says, hey, to you.
How did go back with their noise? You know I'm working. Conta,
So they end up killing people. People are being killed. When we look at all those actually people that had come out, the black people, to fight for the people, look at Malcolm X was assassinated. He was killed by the same FBI. When you look at Fred and other, when you look at it is when you look at sorry, Bob Marley, he was killed by FBI. Now, where do these people where are these people? Of course, are these people taken to court about the deeds? Is FBI, has any organization, or like they normally say the International Criminal Court, has it ever questioned about whatever it does, the people they have killed over time? Kala kwogera.
katono lero baba simanyi nabyakwogera. But you know, it is so unfortunate. It's unfortunate how a lot of people who stand to protect the people who are being oppressed and end up dying like, I don't know how to term, but of course it is believed that William was given only $300 for him to betray Fred, of course, Hampton. And the existence of Hampton created the fear within the organizations or the FBI and the police at that time, to the point that they started killing anyone who looked like him. Anyone who looked like him. Of course, you know that in Illinois, where Fred Hampton had been born to parents who had come from Louisiana, the police constantly harassed people who looked like him. Access to social goods too was made difficult. Right? If not, people who looked like him were stopped. You could not even have access to board public means, and of course have social goods. I don't know that of course maybe they thought they were related or something like that. I don't know, but there was torture during that time. But of course he was backed up and supported. He had a big defense. Being young, energetic, and vibrant, and a very outspoken black man, he had a lot of supporters. He had a lot of supporters, but of course, which of course made it a little bit hard for these people to get him in broad daylight and kill him. He's not the first person we've seen being betrayed. The same stories, of course, have happened with the likes of Malcolm X, and we have seen this. Join this people at that time. It wasn't easy to kill it wasn't easy to kill a person like Fred Hampton. It was killing Hampton and others. It was an inside job actually, and this is the most saddest part, that we are being backstabbed by our own, the people who pretend to be on our side, the people who know where we pee, where we eat, where we do all the shit, the people we trust, all right, for the little money. Hampton was, of course, betrayed and murdered. It is so very unfortunate. And what baffles me more is that the Panthers were youths below the ages of 30, and they had so much zeal, courage, and knowledge, of course, which pushed Black consciousness, and yet there is little to be told in the history of those people and the struggle of course, Black people at large. If at all we saw people below the youths below the ages of 30 years, strongly protecting the legacy of Black people, and then this is a sign to show that there is hope, all right, and everyone can do it, all right. Unfortunately, I don't know, maybe because we um this is why we saw, by the way, and this is why we saw a lot of youths, a lot of young people. But that's why they are taking Jim Jabba's. Okay, let me first finish explaining this, and I come to Jim Jabba's comment. You know, at that time, there's big targets. There are a lot of young Americans were targeted, by the way. A lot of youths were targeted. A lot of them were forcefully arrested and taken to prison. Others were shot dead, I think, because they were so afraid of young people standing out. And but of course, had we all learned from them, you could imagine the community of Black people, how the Black people's community would look like today. Jimmy Java, off topic, your new profile picture. Did you go to the village Hamptons? No. They are cute, inquiring my minds want to know Maria. So, no, yeah, no, I decided to go to the village. No, not really. Um, those, by the way, they say in Africa, we don't say a child is not yours. They are my kids because I'm their auntie, so I should say they are mine. um, everyone, we didn't see you. How? When did you get pregnant? Oh, come on. I will have mine soon, maybe next year. Soon. Maybe next year, maybe another year. I don't know. Yeah, but thank you. They are cute. They're cute, really. Yeah. And a betrayal. There, I know this is not this is something that happens to not only Africans but uh, others as well. But well, I don't care what happens to others, so we're going to talk about us. It is unfortunate. We have seen stories. I think uh, we have seen stories that have been, of course, going on throughout history. The betrayal, and me, yes, there are always a spy. Yeah, true Jibijaba. And there are always throughout history, even during the days of slavery, we had those people who used to betray. I always tell people that it's a curse. Betraying your own is a curse. All right, it's a curse. It's something that is going to dig you out for the rest of your life. It is very hard to it is very hard for people to trust others. Okay, we have seen this throughout time. We have seen people who had decided to, of course, promote Africa love, I should say, sacrifice everything for the Africans and black people in whichever community, and these people have been betrayed. We always have those other people who don't know, but who on one side and another the other, this person is not one around you at all. Because confused people are the ones who bring such kind of things. And this is visibly seen even nowadays. You can see a lot of people confused. This time around, someone is saying I'm this and I'm not that, and I'm a little bit that, I'm not much of this and all that. What do you mean when you say that? So apparently we have a lot, and this is the reason why it is very hard for the black people to unite, for us to have more of these revolutionary organizations, because people cannot be trusted. Some time back we had some groups of people arrested in the US. I think they were in Chicago by the FBI, and these were Africans. They are trying to, of course, I think, start a revolution. But most of their discussions, will put their discussions on Facebook and other places. So they were raided, their offices and all that. Why? It is very easy, more especially if at all you have a group of people who claim to be on your side, or to be on the same of course side with you, but rather they are on your side probably because they have nothing else to do. To maybe they want popularity. Three, people join different organizations for different reasons. But it is a painful ending for most of our heroes, like Malcolm X, okay, like Fred Hampton, and the others. It has and it is always a painful ending, more especially for the people. You can still see down in Africa the likes of Thomas Sankara, how he lost his life, shot dead by his own friend, by his own closest friend. I don't know what these people are always promised. All right, they're always promised things, okay? And probably, maybe if you do this now, or look at O'Neill was given apparently like 300 US dollars just to kill. Yep, FBA, Ados, Indians, Moors, 8 Point Star, Nation of Islam, Why, why Jesus love us all, keep us divided against the Mzungu oppressor. They are promised a white woman. Chiba! Oh, that is, oh, wow. Mm. Because I don't know what is more important than you gaining your peace, and whatever it is that they promise you cannot guarantee your freedom as an individual. Speak of the family you're gonna have, maybe, but of course these are the struggles that Black people shall continue to go through until I don't know the kind of filter we are going to use to sieve those unwanted seeds from the Black population. I don't know the kind of sieve we are going to use to filter. The white woman is the more than thirsty pieces of silver. Wow. What is it? So I don't know what comes with a white woman. A lot of people have that mind. You get a white woman, you're gonna get rich. I think because what is good about, I don't know. I don't know. Let me not say shit before shit about whatever. Whatever. But yeah, could be true, Jibber, but I don't know. It comes with lies. Yeah. I've been let me see. Aha. I don't know because Chibi Jabba, I'm telling you. Aha. Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay. I don't know. By the way, I don't know how. I hope Keith is doing good. Mm, it comes with. My mom is asking me like, why did I laugh so hard like that? Uh-huh. So this is what we've been experiencing down here, and it is not like Africans, and it is sad that the same story goes on with the Black people all over the world. We have failed to have that unified group. You can visibly see this within the Black leaders. We have had people come out and sold Africa. We have had land being sold, Africa being divided in two pieces by the leaders, being served to the wolves to feed on. And these are the same people who expect to still be buried on the land that they have sold. All right, someone comes and tells you that lake does not belong to Kenya anymore. It belongs to the Bazungu. And if it has never belonged to an individual in Africa, how will it belong to someone whose home is not Africa? Anyway, someone comes and tells you, yeah, that belongs, we don't have that pitch doesn't belong to us anymore, or that airport belongs to whatever. Yeah, you can see there is still a lot of sabotage. I don't know whether it is their greed. I don't know whether I don't know. I don't know really how to term that, and it is so very painful. Jiba said that they are given they are promised white women. Like, really, really, you're promised a white woman
That's
in
right.
and because of a white woman, you sell out your own, you kill your own. It doesn't.
A- ask the black man why he desperate for white coochie, Maria. I don't know. Why do you,
And Jiba says they come with lice.
yeah, yeah.
General
Ask
Mosquito,
why
hi.
did some of these puppets have white women? Like the one that just overthrew Cabot and the other moron over there in Guinea. How's a white woman your first lady? You know, you don't got no black woman as your first lady in China. You ain't got no black woman as your first lady in Europe. Well, only in Africa you got these niggas with these white women. 'Cause that's their desire. Crazy.
True.
You got Maria. You can't make it up. It's crazy. Self-hate.
Jim Jabba says it's an old playbook around the world. The colonizers established law that says land ownership requires a deed. Natives have no deed, so no right to the land. Now that's a painful one. We have seen betrayal. Not only we have seen betrayal, even still happening today. Jiba Jabba true. Okay, because if it wasn't for the betrayals we have now, we wouldn't be having our leaders in a position of puppets. All right, we wouldn't be having people who are willing to
True.
sell out their own countries.
True.
Because for the African leaders it is funny, because how can you sell what is yours to be given what is yours at the same time? Isn't that stupidity? You are giving out what is yours in expectation of what is still yours, because there is nothing they are going to give you that you don't have.
That's why they're there, Maria, because they're all stupid. That's why they're the leaders. That's why the white man puts them there, because they're stupid.
True.
So,
True.
Hampton settled. Will I settle again?
Yeah, Seto has been here with us.
I know this is internet when
Yes,
I keep coming when his internet gone.
Yeah. This time it was his electricity.
Wow, see, electricity, internet. You know, how about you despots make things work? How about you despots make things work in Africa? How about that? You know, how about you do that? I'm not going to do that. What kind of leader would I be if I don't keep Africans in poverty and make sure their lights don't work right? You're asking me to be a non-African leader to make shit work. Yes, moron, we want shit to work. That would be nice. That would be nice. Ain't that why you in power? For shit to work right? God damn.
Zungus play for keeps. You know,
Sure do.
I don't know, because for me there are things that I really fail to understand. For sure, looking at someone who is protecting not only you but your entire race, because at times unity
They
goes
don't care
beyond
about
an individual.
they don't care
But of
about
course,
that, Maria. You
you
do.
decide that I don't know. I really don't know how to term that, but I can say some people are just cast not to understand. Oh,
And that's why the ignorance. That's why the ignorance level is so high throughout the continent. So I can keep you enslaved, keep puppets in power, keep you poor, and keep your mind enslaved. That's how it works. So Jibber Jabber says the European plays for keeps. That's playing for keeps. I'm going to keep you ignorant.
true.
Then I'm gonna have you eating all kind of bugs. And you ain't gonna know eating bugs is bad. Oh man, I seen a thumbnail with that no good mulatto who's always talking shit about Africans. Sure, he got a thumbnail of Africans eating bugs. Like, look at these niggas here. They're not us. They eat bugs. I said, oh, look at this. Yeah, he's got a thumbnail. This mulatto's trying to put African American and African hate. He's got a thumbnail of Africans eating bugs. Like, look at these bastards. They don't know to eat, not to eat bugs. Shit.
When I electricity by plenty of crickets. Juba, the crickets are by the, and there are no crickets in the cities, they are in the villages. I don't know the kind of crickets though, but I think they are in the villages. I can't remember when I last saw a cricket.
Right when you ate that shit.
I can't remember
That probably last what you saw when you ate it. Shit. Eating them damn thing.
No, I've never eaten a cricket before.
Oh, I thought you, it's only
I've
set.
never eaten
It's
a
only,
grasshopper.
oh, it's only settlers that's eating the grasshoppers? I thought you ate that shit too. It's only settlers that's eating them crickets and grasshoppers and shit.
No, I've ever eaten grasshoppers. I've never eaten crickets before.
Oh shit, a grasshopper, the cricket is close shit.
And I'm telling you, why should I lie now? But the crickets, no. Crickets, I don't know if there's, but I know they are still there. At times at night, we always hear them in the gardens when they are making noise.
Chirp noise, yeah, twerk, twerk, twerk,
Yeah,
twerk,
yeah,
twerk.
but I've not seen it like physically because they always say they're always hiding in the ground. But I know people eat them. People
God
eat
damn, they eat them too? God damn.
the crickets I know people do. I've seen people on. I've
Damn,
seen like
is any
videos.
bug safe? Is any bug safe, Maria? God damn.
I don't know. I've seen people on YouTube videos, people eating those things.
I'm
Though
talking about the Africa.
I've not. There is no market here in Uganda where you're going to go and find crickets being sold on market.
All right, well that's good. God damn. Hope not.
But you will
Get
find grasshoppers.
grasshoppers is enough. You got that's enough. Fuck them. God damn.
But you will find grasshoppers, and not everyone, not every tribe eats grasshoppers.
Thank God. Shit.
So not every Ugandan eats grasshoppers. So
Good for them.
it is fine.
It says what? Oh, did she fall off?
It is fine for you to find someone trying to disagree because some of them don't eat those things.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to the Ugandans to know that eating bugs is wrong. Thank God I'm trying. They don't eat bugs. You don't eat things with got parasites and shit. So somebody had a tribe and some comments and say, hey, this is the bug. We don't eat this. Okay.
Jiva says that okay, grasshopper is good, but you draw the line at cricket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got a lot of crickets, but the same animal, same bug. Exactly. Grasshopper, yeah, but no, I draw the line at the cricket. What?
So Jiva supports us eating the
And
grasshopper.
Seto made it worse when he's doing the ants. Yeah, you mix it with ants. I was like, what? Seto, are you insane?
You say you mix with what?
White ants. You mixed it with white ants. The grasshopper. He says it's nice. I said, Seto, you are out of your fucking mind. You eat the ants too, Maria?
No. But
yeah. That crazy bastard said ants. I said, what? What? Yeah, it's nice.
I don't know.
You know I said those smiles. Crazy bastard. Seto, you can't be eating ants and grasshoppers, man. God damn. God damn. Wow, Seto. That's some shit somebody give you if they torture you. I'm gonna make you eat these ants if you don't tell me what's going on. No, I can't tell you. I'm gonna make you eat the ants. That's some torture shit. That's not some shit you don't volunteer to eat no fucking ants. God damn.
That's
That wasn't them damn videos of white people. I'm here in Uganda, and that's one of the videos that white people like to do. The poverty porn videos. Look at white. I'm in Uganda, and look at these niggas. They're eating ants. Look at them. Damn, they are eating ants. What the fuck? That his whole tribe be smiling for the camera. Hell no. They're making fun of you. They say you're backwards, you eating ants. Something wrong with your ass. Get your ass away from that damn camera. Crackers are laughing. Okay, at least we know Maria's not eating the ants. God damn. Those at home. Those at home eating plates of grasshoppers and ants. And I think he said sometimes he
used to cook the grasshoppers for him.
Huh?
I'm the one who used to cook the grasshoppers for him.
God damn. You didn't put no ants in there for him?
No, I think he was pulling you. Last time Innocent said he doesn't eat ants. I think it was just trying to make.
Right. Well, he said ants. He said ants and he said ants and then termites. Termites. God damn.
Liar. It isn't termites. You must have said ants. There are these other ants that fly. They have white wings. They're black.
He said the white. He said the white. Yeah, it ain't like he put my leg. His face lighted up too much, Maria. Like he said, they're delicious. They're nice. They're nice. I don't think he was lying. His face lit up like he was too happy. He wanted some right then. They're nice. They're nice. God damn. Listen, you make sure you use some breast wash when I get to Uganda. You talk to me. I know your breath stinking like shit. By eating grasshoppers and ants and shit. Talking to people. Damn. You better brush your teeth 10 times, nigga. Shit. God damn. Got ants and grasshoppers and all other kind of crazy shit. Yeah. Time to sit down. What's for dinner, Mom? Ants and grasshoppers. Ooh, my favorite. What? I think I might lost Maria. I always come late. Yeah, they've been on something 2.5 hours. I've been on this other show with the girls and them. Yep, lost Maria. I thought so. Guys know I'm not staying here long. Oh, I want to ask Maria about the beehive, the bee honey business over in Uganda. Wait for Demore to give me a call. We've got some beehives getting set up further north up there in his parents' village. I got some almost setting up at the farmland I got down there on the outside of Nairobi. See how that goes. Wait for the call, make sure we go and purchase these hives to get this organic honey popping. I showed you guys some videos and pictures I got. I put in the WhatsApp group. That's some more farmland I got out there cultivating. Putting up 3 more greenhouses. Should have them all up by the end of this month. In September, damn, by the end of this month. Everything's fucking expensive now, too. Shit. I share my journey with you guys. You guys know you guys want land, any kind of agriculture. Pretty inexpensive to get in Africa. Especially in Kenya, good land. Do really what you want to do on it. Inexpensive as far as America is concerned. I put those 3, the last 2, not too bad. Last 2 cost me like a little bit over $3,000. And the first one cost me, one by itself cost me $2,000. But the last 2 together gave me a good deal. Instead of $2,000 a piece, they gave us a deal of they built them both for just $3,000. They're going to be connected. And I think from the river down there, I see that's a good place to start a hive right there too. Farm organic honey right there. You already have flowers around. You already got flowers that's already there, so I ain't got to grow any added flowers. They're already there. Uh, I share that stuff on WhatsApp. Holy shit. Damn. This bullshit. I don't think Maria's gonna make it back, guys. Yep. Wrap it up, guys.